I really appreciate it. This is extremely encouraging to see so many of you guys here this evening. I'm going to quickly go through a presentation explaining a lot of what Take Back Antioch has been doing over the last 4 to 6 weeks. We established a core team that has helped put together this presentation this evening, and it's going to be focused mainly on volunteering. So as you can see, how can I help? That's the question I believe that I've been asked the most over the past 6 weeks. And my points here: start a neighborhood watch, help the graffiti abatement team, become a volunteer in police service, and attend monthly neighborhood cleanups. We do have one tomorrow. All right, this did get a little messed up in my transition. Neighborhood watch at the top there should be the number. It's 779-6980. If you call that number and leave a message, you can talk to someone. Someone will give you a call back to help you establish a neighborhood watch group. And what does neighborhood watch do? That's also a very common question that I've been asked. I learned this actually through Dennis Jaglum, who's here with us this evening, who's vice chair of the Crime Prevention Commission. He's actually going to speak right after this slide and tell you guys a little bit more about neighborhood watch. Citizens are trained to recognize and report suspicious activities in their neighborhoods. They also implement crime prevention techniques such as home security and exterior home lighting. And crime prevention commissioners like Dennis are available to give presentations to assist your neighborhood watch group in any particular areas of need. You guys are the eyes and ears of the police department. Chief Contando here, in a meeting that I had with him about a week and a half ago, said, all right, everybody, thank you very much, Chief Contando, for speaking with us about that. I know it's very dear to your heart, and thank you, Dennis, very much. Use the mic?
No,
there is no mic.
There is no mic for the room. It's for the camera.
It's for the camera. Here we go. Yes. So, pardon.
Here, the people back there. Or in the middle.
Or in the middle?
Yeah, but you,
it's okay. I can read.
Sure?
She has her own.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Awesome. Excellent. That's great news. Okay, as I was saying, thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Chief Contando, for being here this evening and for speaking. At this point, I want to cover the GAP program, which both of them did mention briefly. And the GAP program is a graffiti abatement program. It's completely volunteer funded and run. And their goal is to remove graffiti in Antioch within 24 to 48 hours. And I know Dennis has a vision of having 100 GAP volunteers that go out, what were you saying, 32 hours a week?
That's our goal.
That's their goal, 32 hours a week to completely rid the city of Antioch of graffiti. And a really cool thing about this program is when you sign up, we have volunteer forms in the back. I hope you guys are able to pick one up on the way in. The coolest thing about this is that it's 2 to 10 hours a week. It's a huge time frame. You can spend a lot of time or just one afternoon after work or before work. So it's very flexible. So again, we've got volunteer applications in the back. I want to show you guys a couple photos. This one is really near and dear to my heart. This one was recently fixed. This is very close to where I live, Empire Mine Road. There's also some other things other than graffiti going on in this area, but there was, what, 300 to 400 feet of gated fence behind these homes. It was completely plastered with graffiti. And I believe yesterday?
Yes. Yesterday
there was 2 city workers out there covering up every bit of that graffiti. So that's great news. This particular location has not yet been fixed, but we are currently looking into dealing with this situation. It's on private property, and we have not been able to contact the home that's there, but that's obviously some aggressive graffiti going on there, and we're going to be looking into that. This one is one of the first things that I posted on the Take Back Antioch page when it comes to graffiti. This was at the South Police Station there by the water park. This whole building, this is just the side. The whole front had huge red tags all over it. And as soon as this got posted up, I still to this day don't know who covered it, but it was within 2 days it was completely taken care of. So that's been fixed. And lastly, this was another large tag on Lone Tree Way. that has now been taken care of. So again, I'm also going to cover VIPs a little bit, volunteers and police services. This is a huge one. They're now taking volunteers for this service. I've got forms in the back if you guys are interested. It's 10 hours a week commitment. You go through a training academy for about 2 weeks where you learn the various skills, I guess, to be a VIP. And you assist the police with special tasks such as clerical and administrative support, abandoned auto abatement, handicapped parking enforcement, illegal sign abatement, traffic control, and more. So to me, that's kind of a cool job. You know, how many of you guys would be interested in doing something like that?
Brittany,
There you go.
4 hours a week.
Okay, I was told by Chief Contando that he had asked for 10. So he told me to say 10. I'm just saying 10. Okay, is he still here?
10 people have
Okay, it does say on the website that it's 4 hours. So there you go. So anyway, please sign up for that. You can submit those to me. I'll get them in the right place. If you fill them out this evening, I'll get them submitted. Otherwise, you can fax them, I guess, or bring them down to City Hall, I believe, or here. Isn't that where we're supposed to bring those? To the front desk here at the police station? Awesome. And there are some of our wonderful Antioch VIPs. Excellent. This has been another huge topic on our page. And it does seem a little repetitive, but this page tells you how to deal with it. These are some of the solutions that we have in place right now in terms of graffiti, blight, and crime. One of them has obviously been very popular, posting graffiti with the location on the Take Back Antioch page. At this point, I also want to say that if you post graffiti and it gets taken care of, please post the after picture. I cannot stress that enough. Please come back and say, look, this has been taken care of. As soon as I posted it, it was done. You know, that's what's happening right now. So I'd really like your feedback and help in that case. Of course, any graffiti, please report to non-emergency police department. Take photos if you can and submit those. Another one is Public Works, as well as GAP. Allied Waste, if you see anyone dumping, call the non-emergency line if they're dumping at the time. Couches and things like that, you were saying?
any large item.
Any large item.
Property.
On public property. And if it's already been dumped, like a lot of those Christmas trees that were left and things around town, you can call 1-800-NO-DUMPING. Allied Waste actually has a contract with the city to take care of that, so it's really important. And you can always email me if you don't know what to do, and I will point you in the right direction. This again is Empire Mine Road, where I showed that graffiti, where there's 300 to 400 feet of fence. This was the entrance to Empire Mine Road in the beginning of January. Larry actually took those photos. He's been updating everybody about that situation. That is currently being fixed. There's been a line drawn at the top of this hill here, hopefully to put in a fence, a barrier, as opposed to just these boulders that keep getting run over by four-wheel drive vehicles. And then you'll see right back here, there is a barrier that was put there, but it doesn't do much good when people are still running their four-wheel drive cars over to the other side. This is an example of blight in the community and things that code enforcement would usually be taking care of. I'll be touching on that later in the presentation about code enforcement. Again, litter and garbage cleanup. There's a cleanup tomorrow. Yeah, you see that. And this image was actually featured on the front page of the Antioch Press this past week. And this is on Deer Valley behind the movie theater. Okay, and this is very near and dear to my heart. A member of our core team came up with the catchphrase Community Watch. We've been speaking a lot about Neighborhood Watch this evening, but the mentality that I feel that Take Back Antioch is really trying to portray is being on watch while you're doing your everyday life activities. Be aware of what's going on. If you see anything suspicious, put that non-emergency police department number in your speed dial on your phone. Do not be afraid to call. Don't prioritize the calls for dispatch. That's their job. If they know what's happening, maybe they're getting other calls. So in that case, you guys are, again, being the eyes and the ears of our police department and helping in that way. Known problems: graffiti, illegal dumping, car theft and break-ins, kick door and fence jumping break-ins, metal and copper stealing. Solutions, again, reporting that suspicious activity, joining a neighborhood watch group, and protecting your personal safety by being aware of what's going on around you. Here's a big topic for this evening that that I'm definitely going to be discussing during the Q&A, is bringing back code enforcement to the city of Antioch. This is just as important to me as having a well-supported police department. It's extremely important that we take care of things like hazardous weeds, blight on property, lawn parking, inoperable vehicles on private property, illegal dumping, and more. At this point, we really don't have a code enforcement. There's many cities in the state of California that have a volunteer code enforcement. One of those cities is Garden Grove, California. They do have a paid portion, paid employees, but they also have a huge volunteer code enforcement team. So that's something that we're absolutely going to be looking into and are researching. And something that's really exciting for me and for our team and as a whole, we're trying to raise money to become a nonprofit group. And we met that goal this week in, I think, 2 weeks of $850. And we've been asked several times, why do you want to do this? Well, first and foremost, it's to maintain that integrity with you, to maintain that communication and that open dialogue. Establishing a nonprofit organization, it formalizes our goals and helps maintain focus as our efforts grow. It establishes a formal structure to where we'll have a president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and all those things. It allows for securing of government and business grants to fund volunteer programs and to help assist the city in any needs. And it also provides the ability for donors to deduct their donations from their taxes. So here we go. This is the neighborhood cleanup tomorrow. The location is Meadow Creek Park on Vista Grand between Carmen Dragon Elementary School, the time is 9 in the morning until 11, so just for 2 hours, come out and help us clean garbage in that area and litter. All supplies are going to be available to you. So all you got to do is bring yourself and friends and family. So. And this final slide, I hope you guys can see this in the back. This is very important. I'll leave this up. These are important contacts. This is what is available to us right now. Reporting suspicious activity. Again, I can't stress enough, non-emergency police line. Start or join a neighborhood watch group. It is wrong. Someone told me it was wrong. It's 8, isn't it?
2441.
Okay. Where is it?
779-2441 emergency.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I apologize. 778. Contra Costa Housing Authority. This is for issues of blight and things of that nature. Contra Costa Fire District to report fire hazards at this point. Since we don't have code enforcement, you can give them a call, and they'll take care of the weeds and address that situation. Contra Costa Environmental Health, health hazard reports. And then there's air quality control. If you smell anything suspicious in a home, that right there is who you want to call. That's a really good contact. And I also want to encourage you guys to please attend city council meetings. And if you have a minute, 30 seconds, 3 minutes of your time, please consider speaking and sharing your voice. I don't want to be the only one up there talking, because I know all of you guys feel the same way that I do. I'm 23 years old. If I can do this, I know you can do it too. So I encourage you to be there on Tuesday, February 15th at 7 o'clock. And also at this time, Dennis told me that the next crime prevention meeting is February 23rd. It has been moved to that Wednesday, correct?
Yes.
The Wednesday at 7 o'clock in this very room. So that's February 23rd, same time, same place. Crime prevention meeting. That's about neighborhood watch. So those are good meetings. So that concludes my presentation. Thank you guys for being here.